spiritual takeover. For this and more, join us all week long and your evenings will never be the same again. Don't miss out. I'd rather be a doorkeeper and stand at the threshold.
Hey roommate, welcome to the same room, a place where we incubate hope as we serve our fears and our insecurities, a place we have created an environment for you to be more happier, healthier and more. Ningependa kwa tena sasa kwa kusaidia kukaribisha kwenye makala the same room, mahali ambapo tuko hapa kuhakikisha kwamba tunaelimishana, tunahamasishana na vile vile kwa mapana na tena marefu. Leo na siku zote nafahamika kama Ruth Ngatia. Na kabla tujaendelea mtazamaji, ningependa kufahamisha kwamba sipo peke yangu. Ninaye mtaalamu wa masuala ambayo yananiathiri mimi na wewe katika jamii ambaye yuko hapa na ataweza kujitambulisha kabla hatujasukuma gurudumu la siku ya leo.
Asante sana Ruth. Na salimia watazamaji wetu. Na ninawaambia karibu. Tutakuwa pamoja. Naitwa Wanjiru Kiama. Mtu wa nasaha sana sana za kifamilia. Asante.
Asante sana Mrs. Kiama kwa kuweza kutenga muda kuja mahali hapa ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba mambo ambayo yanatendeka katika familia zetu ni mambo ambayo yanalipa mimi na wewe, sisi na mtazamaji wetu uhuru wa kukua na kujiendeleza. And that is why kuna mtu aliweza kusema ya kwamba a nation without stable families cannot be a nation. And that is why, and every one of us, me, you, our viewer out there, they have come from a family somewhere. Hakuna mtu ambaye ametoka kwa kichaka. Hakuna mtu ambaye ametoka like hana mahali ambapo ametoka. We have all come from a family somewhere. And truth be told, there are so many issues that are affecting our families today. There are so many things that are happening in our families. Some have been spoken about, others have not been spoken about. Why? Because some of these things, when people express them, they seem like a source of shame. Because there's a certain way the society have painted some of these things. Therefore, thank you very much kwa kuweza kukuja Mrs. Kiama. And it has been mimi kitambo tukipatana, but I thank God that you are here once again. And I really thank you for honoring my invite. Now, there's something that I want us to talk about today. Something that is happening in our society today. Something that my generation is really trivializing. That it's something that we're just doing just for the sake of doing. I'm doing because my peers are doing because I had someone that they did it, so I'm gonna do it. And as a therapist, as a parent as well, I want you to address the issue of what really changes in the life of a woman when they decide to have a child. What really changes in the life of a woman when they decide, I'm gonna give birth. Why am I saying so? How many families have we had out there are now being trampled by a child someone came with in the aspect of a stepmother, and a stepson and a stepdaughter are not getting along. A stepfather and a stepdaughter or a stepson are not getting along.
Well, this time we are addressing the singles.
Yes.
Who decide to give birth before marriage. Okay. What I would say, sometimes it's an accident.
Yes.
Sometimes it's planned. Because I hear some girls saying, me, I don't want to get married, but I want to have a child.
Yes.
She's talking like that because she's stable, she's okay, she's young. But a time comes, and I would like them to know that later in life, you feel you want to get married.
Yes.
And now you have a kid. And for sure you get a man and he marries you with your kid.
Yes.
And sometimes it works. Some other times the stepfather becomes very harsh on the baby.
Yeah.
And as a counselor, I've had very many young people coming to my office. I help them to get off the bitterness they have been having after the mother got married. So there is a problem because when a man wants a woman, he can promise heaven. Hata anamwambia nitakupendea mtoto ni kipawa kutoka kwa Mungu. But after some time, you find even some of the stepfathers raping their stepdaughters.
So sad.
And the girl is so traumatized. I mean, so that's why I'm telling you, they are all over counseling offices trying to get off that. And sometimes I feel very bitter because some women are so much into marriage that even when the daughter tells her, Dad raped me, amwambia, shut up.
You're lying.
Hata kama you are not lying or you are lying, usiongee tusifukuzwe hapa. So I think people fear to divorce so that people won't talk. So unaona anaambia mtoto vumilia ndio tusifukuzwe, wewe vumilia. And it's a rape case. You don't even know whether she conceived. So there are so many problems in that family where now you are marrying somebody. Some young women are also getting married to single fathers whose wives left them with a kid. But after she gets her own, anasahau huyu na anaanza kumistreat. So there is a problem actually
in our families today. And then I've loved the fact that you have started by saying we are not here to shame anyone who is with child right now. We are not here to shame anyone who decided I'm gonna have a child but I'm not going to get married. Why? Because there are people, to them marriage is not a priority, as much as you are living in a society whereby if you do not have that status, I'm married, I'm in a relationship, it comes with some sort of shame or with some sort of, you have a problem, you see? So, Pia, it's very important for our viewer to understand that, because people have different choices, people have different priorities. But now, from a point of also, again, as a parent and also as a therapist, I want you to give us your opinion on whether you feel marriages and relationships are being idolized. Why am I saying so? In churches, when the term marriage or even a relationship is just mentioned, that is something that the audience, the congregants, receive with a lot of joy. But when the same pastor talks about singlehood, that is not something that people will receive with the same kind of joy. Why? Because we are living in a society whereby it has come with some sort of shame, or let me say, with some sort of inadequacy. You are not enough. What do you think about that?
As a parent, I don't mind the singles. And every parent should not mind, because once a baby is born, huwezi mrudisha kwa tumbo. It is, you support if the girl is not able, and even if she is able, encourage her to bring up the child. And let church people not condemn people and tell them because they are single, they are not enough. We have so many talented single parents, and they should be encouraged. But you find that in most churches, and I'm happy these days they're improving, when you are married now not through the church, and you come to the church and you stay, and people think you are a leader, they want to choose you as a leader, kuna kikwazo, you must do a wedding because you are single, according to them. We can't fight that, because like I'm in a church where that is a rule, that when you are going to serve, you must do that wedding.
Okay.
But I also want to encourage these single people ya kwamba they should not be copycats. Whereby I saw Ruth doing her wedding, and it was a 3 million worth wedding, so I won't do because I can't afford. I always remind the young people, if you want to be joined together, you only need to be 4. And the pastor, the 5th. You can go to the church on a Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and you are joined. If the parents are okay and they bless it, they can even come to witness. They should be the audience, not a whole church whereby we must see you getting married and unabebwa na limousine, wengine na helicopter. And then after that, mumesota hamna kitu cha kula. So, I think I have seen very active single ladies and gentlemen, but the singles who have children should be encouraged to work in church. Because, as I told you as we started, this child could have come as an accident.
Yeah.
Already maybe that single mother is bitter with the man who gave her that child and left. And you are here telling her she's done very bad, she's bad, she's evil. You are adding salt into an engine. So I would like to encourage parents. And me, I like giving examples of myself. Because I have a single mother in my house. And when I knew she's pregnant, I started serving her and buying her what should be bought to a new upcoming mother. Akule vizuri azae juu kama iko ndani nitaitoa. I can't. It is to support and encourage her and tell her what happens. That did not diminish my salvation. That did not make me a lesser mother. But you find other church women telling their children, umeniaibisha, wewe ni shetani, you know I'm a member of a group in church, sasa nitakuwa nikisema nini? No. You should be happy that this girl was not cheated by others to go and abort. You should be happy that even if that young man told her, let's abort, she refused. And decided to keep it. So you should be a supporter, not a tormentor. Who sometimes we torment them that. And I tell people the way we behave in pregnancy, that child might become that. So if you are bringing up a pregnancy where you're bitter, you're crying, you're stressed, that's how do you be stressed? Be happy. So as a parent myself, I don't think I would blame those girls who decide. That is the path that they have decided to take. Yeah. And then talking about that, there's something that you have said that is very, very important, and I've loved that. The fact that umesema you like giving examples of yourself. Myself. So I had someone also say, I was watching an interview somewhere, and I had someone say that when a girl gives birth outside marriage, and again, you're not here to condemn anyone who decided to choose that path. Juu tumesema mtoto ni baraka, kuna watoto ambao wanakuja kwa sababu huenda kosa lilitendeka mahali. And now, do you think that, because I had this person say that these ladies, they are unable to show up for some things. Do you believe in that? So. Like showing up in places whereby they are not themselves anymore, because they said when a girl gives birth, or even when a woman gives birth, there's something that changes identity. And what is identity, Mrs. Kiama? Identity is the core of our living. This is how we are able to show up in places. This is how we are able to show up for other people. And now they said that when this happens, among the challenges that a lady is likely to encounter when they give birth, before they get into marriage, their identity is affected. How true is that? It depends on how they walishikwa kwao. You are here, I can see you are pregnant. If I start scolding you and talking to you like you have done the worst in the world, of course your self-esteem will go down. And you decide to stay at home if you're not working. And even if you're working, you decide to stay, to keep to yourself. You don't join others. Because already the comments of your parents or siblings or the significant others, mpaka wengine wanamwambia, and we thought you are a hope. You know, that makes you very hopeless. Yes. But when a girl is encouraged, even carrying that baby and coming with the baby to church will not be a problem. Yes. So we who are around that girl are the one who will determine whether she'll keep to herself or she will join and help. And some are very talented.
Yeah.
And imagine umemweka chini mpaka amesahau alikuwa na talanta. And you know, the closer you bring them, the closer they will love even that church. And who said that hawezi okoka akiwa na huyo mtoto? Who said hawezi serve akiwa na huyo mtoto? Who said she can't get married? There are young men who don't mind. If I love you, I love even what you have. And I'll not go to mistreat the kid. So it must start from home. The parents, wacha kuambia mtoto amekuaibisha. Wewe sio unabeba mimba. Dedi anabeba. Amekuaibishaje? It is, by the way, women talk. And I always tell women, especially in church, let's say, like me, I'm a woman's guild woman, tuende tuna mkutano. If you want to be a happy person, learn to talk freely. As you talk, unaambia. Na by the way, niko karibu kuitwa nyanya. Hamjui? Hamjaona siko? You know that one is making the story easy. So that even the one who wanted to speak negatively, atasikia hata wewe, you are waiting upon God for what has happened and you can't undo. That is why I discourage and I like to tell parents, hata kama kuna mimba kwako haujaibeba, wacha kuambia mtoto amekuaibisha, utakuwa ukipitia wapi. Kwa nini? Go and serve God the way you serve and pray for your daughter. Start even praying. Unajua hata wengine wanasema, na kama ni msichana usininame na hajaolewa. She will name after you if she's like a Kikuyu. Because we name after our parents. Now umeanza curse. And you might make that kid to die as she gives birth, or she loses the baby because of your bad mouth. And you say you love Christ. No. Let us encourage these girls. Tell them, okay, it may happen, but please don't let a second one come. This one we shall help you. And God will also help you. Na unamwambia mtoto is a gift from God. We can't throw this kid away. But you find even mothers, which is worse. Tulijua msichana akona mimba. Then within a short time, Hana, mama alimpeleka kutolewa, asiaibike. You see? A Christian. Now, on top of what the girl had felt, umeongeza trauma kwa huyo msichana. Because hata kama ni wewe ulimpeleka, she will live to know that she killed a being. Na saa hiyo, wakema ameenda kuwaongeresha na Proverbs 6:16-19. You should hate what God hates. A lying tongue, haughty eyes, hands that kill innocent blood. See, amekill. A heart that plans evil, legs that run to do evil the way you ran to a boat. A false witness. You are giving us false life to pretend you are a girl. Now, umetoa? Then a man who brings discord amongst his people. So unaona, mimi ninaongea kwa youth, tuseme, and I'm very sincere, but I don't know there is a girl there who was forced by her mother to abort, and I'm talking of God hates a person who kills innocent blood. Yeah. Huyu mtoto ataendelea kuwa sasa na stress, depression, aanze kujifungia kwa nyumba, mpaka wengine they end up into suicide. And who is the originator of all this? The parent who is supposed to give care, love, and all this. Na ana extend to the siblings. Huyu ni bure, mjue ametuaibisha. Hata msirudi kumletea kitu ama kumfanyia, wacha ajifanyie. Ni umeharibu mtu, ameachwa share. And that's your daughter. And we can't blame these girls. Some are even working and they don't want to get married, but they want a baby. utaenda kumpiga umwambia, hata utajua, by the way, hata kuja kukuambia, utamuona tu na mimba. Unaanza kumuuliza utatuletea wageni lini? Nani amekwambia anaolewa? Wanakuja lini? So now if you start such questions, atakuhepa. And she will keep to herself until the day atazaa. Pengine mkija kuona mtoto ni sawa, pengine hata kukataa, wanasema msikuje kwangu,
nisione hapa.
I remember a mother, a saved old lady, whose daughter became pregnant. And then she told them she's getting married, she'll bring her guests. Akawaleta. Na mambo yote yakafanywa akiwa na mimba. By the way, those days, we used to do harusi hata ukiwa na mimba. But the mother, because she was very saved, said she can't attend that wedding. And she stayed at home because that is sin. And ni aibu kwa sababu ya wokovu wangu. And that was all, and the wedding ikaisha. But then, the same mother, mtoto alipozaliwa, anapanga marafiki zake wamlete Nairobi aone mtoto. And they came. Do you know the girl didn't open the gate? Yes. This child, mulisema ni sin. But now ametoka, munasema ni zawadi kutoka kwa Mungu, munakuja kusherehekea. She didn't open. And they went back to Ushagu. Now that is enmity. Imeletwa na nani? Parents. That is why I'm saying, let our girls get hope from the parents.
Yeah.
Not discouragement. Ikifanyika imefanyika. And you're not going to be a lesser deacon in church. You're not going to be a lesser praise and worship person. Take care of her. Because even God loves those who take care of the helpless.
Yeah.
This girl is helpless. Pengine hana job, ametoka college, kijana alitoroka. Na we mama, badala ujue hivyo umtulize na umwambie it is well, unaanza kutukanana. And in counseling we say, what you can't undo, learn to cope.
Yeah.
So cope with this girl. Unetee samaki, unetee whatever akule. Pengine hata niwe unazaliwa utoke ukiwa kisichana kirembo.
Yeah. I've loved everything that you have said about that. So in situations whereby these ladies who have given birth through that way, in case they find themselves in situations whereby the parent is not supportive, what are they supposed to do?
In fact, I've seen so many that the mother say, even usinilete, siwezi kukulea, na nikulele. And you are working. You can't afford a house girl. Maybe you are working in a small business ya mtu. Huwezi pata ya nyumba na ya house girl na mtoto anahitaji kula. So some girls request their parents wakae na watoto. Wengine hata wanaenda nje kutafuta Qatar, Saudia, wherever they request. I have seen very many taking to their friends or their relatives. There are people with good hearts. Na watawachukua. Na watakaa na wao. Because this girl has to work. This child has to get food, clothing,
Education.
pampers, later education. So, until when you are stable, now you can take your child and go with them. Lakini mi huambia, wasiwaache completely.
Good.
Wacha kakue, just like the way I'm telling parents that tunaharibu watoto wa 1 year to 5 years na simu. Hizi tunawapatia. It is the same. You can spoil a baby at 5 years and 6 after realizing this is grandmother and mother is never seen. They start bitterness. Wanaanza kusikia wanachukia mama yao. Kwa nini haji? Kwa nini hakai na mimi? And that is why I tell girls, kama umeangaliliwa mtoto up to 5, it's very important to stay with your baby. Ndio umuelewe, akuelewe, and you bond.
Good.
It is not good to bond. There is a child who made me almost cry, akiniambia, by the way, teacher, imagine I don't know my mom. I only know her from WhatsApp picture. She went to the States. She left me at 3 years. And now I'm in Form 2. So, mi umuona tu kwa WhatsApp na video calls. I don't feel attached to her. And where I'm living with my aunt, I'm really mistreated. And even when she sends money, I don't see anything. I don't get anything. You see, huyo ni mtu ameharibiwa. And I called the mother and told her, nikaitisha number. By the way, she came and I was very happy. And they bonded. And in fact, kumwonyesha mapenzi, akamtoa from a public high school to international. Because she has the money. And now the girl started feeling. And as we are talking, they are in the States together. So that's what I'm saying. Then don't cut kabisa the bond between you and your baby. You're going to make them bitter. But between 1 and 5, anaweza kaa. Mtoto can attach themselves anywhere. But after, and this is the stage I say, it is a stage where a child can trust or mistrust. So for the kid to trust you in that first stage, inaitwa trust versus mistrust. Let that child know you are there. Hata kama unakuja, and I love those girls who, when the schools are closed, they pick their babies and go with them. And they go to explain to them why they are living with Shosho. But I'll be coming for you over the holidays. That is very different and very good.
And you know, that is a very important aspect that I've spoken about, because research shows that when these children, they are like, they have been cut off completely from their parents. They don't even bond with their parents. What really happened, what actually happens to these kids is that they lack identity. Identity in what aspect? Identity in the aspect ya kwamba mtoto, they start thinking that their parent is somewhere, that they dumped them and left them.
The word is dumping.
Yes.
And there is a stage, a human being has 8 stages. There is the 5th stage whereby huyu mtoto amekuja, ametrust, ameendelea. At that stage of adolescence is whereby now this child who lacks identity, it is called identity versus confusion. That is where this child, because hana mtu wa kumodel, they can follow peer.
Anything.
Anaenda na marafiki zake, anapata wanavuta bangi, je huyo ameivuta, because hana identity kama yule alibond na mzazi wake. Huyu ambaye hana identity ndio tunaita confused. Hata ajielewi.
And they end up getting into crime.
Of course, they end up being into crime, because even the next stage is wanakuwa either intimate or withdrawn. And that is why you find some even refusing to get married, because they have not been intimate to anybody apart from the peer who are showing them bad things. They know they are bad, but what do they do? Yeah.
They have nowhere to attach themselves.
They don't have anywhere to attach. And pengine Shosho is so old that they are even cheating her. Shosho. Anaambiwa Shosho, kuna kitu kinaitwa discussion group, ndio tunaenda. Shosho anasema ende discussion.
Bora urudi.
Bora usichelewe. Anaenda kuvuta bangi.
And that is very important for our viewer to understand, that when some of these kids, or when some of these things happen to some of these things, whereby the kid does not have the right bond with the parent, they end up getting into crime. And then another thing that might happen to this kid, according to research, it also shows when these children become older, because they did not experience that bond when they were young. These are the same kind of people, when they grow up, they end up sleeping with children.
With?
Children.
Yeah.
Yes, talk about that.
And ingine, it is that age hiyo ya confusion, they start disturbing their mothers. I want to know my dad.
Yes.
Na mama hapa nao ujinga aligogwa na lori.
Asemi alienda.
I think apart from that man who rejected the baby, if the man is willing, it's important to let him know, the baby know the father. And I've seen so many that have been educated by their fathers. Hata kama baba alioa, anatuma fees kwa shule, hata hana attachment na wao, yani hata, unajua the married women being, ukianza kulipa fees mutarudiana. No. People have become disciplined.
Yeah.
They know by dumping that child, even the children in the house will not be blessed. So this man is serving that one for this one to be blessed. But women don't understand that. They think,
But yeah.
Wakati munaitishana fees munakuwa wapi?
There are also situations. Actually, yesterday I saw there's this Nigerian celebrity. His name is should I say the name? No, let me not say the name. But right now, him and the wife, they are filing for a divorce kwa sababu this is a man who had fathered children elsewhere. Lakini sasa yeye anachukua ile nafasi kufanya nini? Kwenda kule.
That is sin. See, that is adultery now. Si ameoa na aliacha yule. Saidia mtoto uachache yule uliacha. Kwa nini unaenda? And that is why I tell people, avoid your exes. You never know.
And you talk about the power.
Unasema geduke no geduke. So I think the children become more confused if the mother refuses to show them the dad, or if they are shown the dad and he says, I don't care, asikujui, that becomes worse. So I think let us treat children like they are human beings, not like robots. Just what happens when mama na baba wakikosana, wanaambiwa tu, beba hii bag, tunatoka kwa daddy, tunaenda kama robots. Tunatoka, tunapelekwa kwa shushu, tunabadilishwa shule. No, think about them.
Yeah.
If there has to be a divorce, let them know that munaenda, sio kuwasukuma kama a machine. They go asking themselves, what's wrong with the man?
What's happening?
Ametutoa kwetu kwa nini? Dada amefanya nini? Unafikiria huyo mtoto atasoma vizuri?
But and you know the problem with children is that they always know when someone is lying to them, when someone is tricking them, they are very much aware of
that. They know. So that is why we said, na unajua tulitoka mbali sana kwa wale wasichana ambao wanazaa before getting married. I want to tell them, if it happen, you are the same. If you got a baby today, you'll still be Ruth. You still do what you do. You'll be interviewing and you'll be doing other things. Be stronger to know that now there is another being you are taking care of. And you should be strong for that one. Don't lower your self-esteem. Let it, self-esteem is a skill. And you always say it's very important to raise it. Be assertive and tell people, God gave me a child, I'm happy. Sio kusema, usinikubushe huyo shetani ambaye alinipa huyo. Wachana na hayo. Umepewa kipawa hapo zawadi. Lea, Mungu atakusaidia and you get married. Sindio?
Yes.
We have seen people getting married even with 3 kids.
And doing better.
Because the man has loved you. And you do better and he loves your children. So usiweke kama ni koma. or a full stop ya maisha kwa sababu umepata mtoto. Yeah.
And then another very important aspect that I would like you to talk about as a parent and also as a therapist or as a counseling psychologist. There's this aspect of people say that when a lady or when a woman gives birth, you now have other human beings to take care of. You now have to show up for this baby because the child is here. You can't throw them away. You can't do anything about that. But then they went ahead and said the aspect of solitude. Now you'll not have time as a lady to have that personal time. And they spoke about solitude in the aspect of, in solitude is where you get to understand yourself, is where you get to sit down with yourself and know, what do I really want? Why do I behave like this? Why do I react like this? Talk about that.
That is why I said when you get a baby, don't blame yourself, but have time with yourself. We always say, even in companies, that when you are starting something, it's good to plan. Like now, when you are expectant, start planning. Tell yourself, after this, after the kid comes, what will I do? What will I do with myself? Will I now lose my shape? Will I now look like mom, an old woman? Sit down and love yourself. You say, I'll be there for this baby. You even keep some money for the baby. Don't depend on other people.
Yeah.
See, when the Bible says, cursed is the man who looks upon another man. Look unto God and say, this is what I want. But don't stay in solitude, hate yourself, look shaggy, jiachilie. No. And even to the married women, usijiachilie na usiachilie bwana yako. Plan and ugawe saa zako. Kuna za mtoto, kuna zangu, na kuna za bwana yangu, na watoto wengine, wale ambao wako na watoto. That way, you won't be confused. You'll be a happy person.
The reason as why I've chosen this is because we are living in a society whereby the women or the ladies who choose to live a life in this kind of way. Together tumesema kwamba marriage is not a priority to some of these people. So they have decided, I'm just going to have a child and take care of me and my child. We are living in a society whereby people are being judged. Tumesema hapo mwanzo ya kwamba I do not have the title of I'm married. I do not have the title of I'm in a relationship. And these are the same people who go bashing people for the fact that you're married and you do not have a child. You see?
That is the society.
Yeah.
Because even when you have a child and they can see you can bear children, ukifikisha vote unasikia shosho, kwani utatuletea mtu lini? Nani alikwambia nataka kuolewa? I'm talking now like a counselor, not like a Christian, because so many people have gone down, their esteem down because of that. Hata umepitwa na wagoi, unakumbushwa your younger sister ameolewa na wewe uko hapa tu na mtoto. I mean, it's the high time the society should, okay, it's good to talk, but not in a negative way.
But they should also understand that every opinion, giving an opinion about everything does not matter. Because si kila kitu ambacho kimetendeka, si kila kitu ambacho kinafanyika mahali ambapo uko, it requires you to talk. Because you do not know what these people are going through. You do not know what are the plans of this person.
And that is why I tell people to be assertive. Say no when it is no, and say yes when it is yes. Just tell them, it's my choice. And you go, I'm okay. Lakini hawa wasichana hata wao wanakasirika, wanasema mtagoja mtachoka.
Utangoja sana.
Mtagoja. No, don't even explain. Because it will pull you down. And you know, there is a time I told you there are people in this world who are PhD holders. See wale wamesoma. PhD ni pull her down, pull him down. They want to pull you down even when they can see mtoto ni gift. Instead of telling you atakuwa Mungu atakusaidia, utaendelea vyema. They are always negative. Kwani ulizana nani? Nani huyo utuletei? Now maybe if this girl was just left by that man, unamrudisha wapi? Kwa uchungu, which is not good. Yeah.
And then tunapomaliza, ningependa you talk about what are the factors that someone should consider before, like for example, if someone has a child and they decide that they want to get married or even get into a relationship, this person who had decided to approach this other person, what are the factors to consider? Why am I saying so? Jinsi ambavyo umeweza kusema hapo awali ni ya kwamba this child someday they might say, you're not my real father, I want my real father.
And it has happened. That is good to give yourselves that allowance.
Good.
Munaulizana, okay, if this child you ask for the father, will you allow me to show him the father? Mwanzo, okay, if this girl wants to get married when she's grown, will you allow her father to come in?
Witness the wedding.
Or even attend the wedding. Those are the things to consider before you get into it. Face facts and face reality, because these children will grow and they would want their dads. I remember a wedding I attended, and the two dads were seated together and they were okay, because it is something that was discussed, and the wedding ended well. Yule ambaye alikuwa divorced akaenda, hawa wakaachwa, and there was no quarrel. So they must understand and discuss. Wasitembee blindly.
You have to
listen to your friend's opinions. Know what he wants about the child. Listen to your other spouse. Let them know. Let the husband know. And remember that this girl one day will get married, and she would want her dad. When you understand that way, you can't fight. Yeah.
We have seen situations whereby the child, the boy, the daughter, the stepdaughter, the stepson, they have requested to know their father. And now what happens to this marriage? It breaks. Why? Someone said these two fathers cannot coexist if they're not mature enough to understand that some of these things are bound to happen.
In fact, you have reminded me a question I was asked. Wakema, you say the fathers are the carriers of blessings. And a father bore me and left me, and another one married my dad, who is the carrier of my blessings. Yeah. I told him, the giver of the seed is the man. So your dad is the giver of that seed. Don't forget him. But respect this one that has anakulea, because he gives you what you want, so he can give you blessings. But also, don't underrate the one who bore you. It's good to be blessing him with zawadi, naenda unamuona, hata yeye anakubariki. Yeah.
Okay, in a nutshell, when you're talking about the single ladies and how the society has decided to look at them, what would you like our viewer to understand? What would you like the society to understand? Why am I asking that question? Kwa sababu tumesema ya kwamba tuko hapa kuhakikisha ya kwamba mazingira ambayo tuko ndani yake ni mazingira ambayo yananipa mimi na wewe na mtazamaji, mimi na mtazamaji uhuru wa kukua na kujiendeleza. What would you like our viewer to understand?
I would like our viewer to understand things have changed. And it's not like when ourselves we were growing, we used to be taught and be told men are like this and this, avoid. Today they're in the same schools, they can even come home as boyfriends and girlfriends. And so I would want the society to know, if we see these girls with babies, let us not blame them. Encourage them. Talk to them. In fact, if I'm a church woman and I keep bringing my daughter near me and her baby, I'm pulling her even to the church. I'll make her love where I go. But if I keep blaming, she will hate even where I go. And that is the church. So that is a kind of preaching also. So let us not blame these girls. because sometimes it's their choice, sometimes it's an accident. So we cannot push them and tell them you must get married. Let them go by their choice. As they grow, tumeona harusi hata za watu 40 years, 45, because I realize it is even the word of God said, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. So anaendelea kisoma. But for this time, let us support them and take them positively and live with them well, and things are going to work.
So ningependa uweze kumweleza mtazamaji wetu, in case they want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
In case they want to find me, I have an office at Ruprani House, second floor, room 213. That is on Muiru Street, next to Family Bank 4 Wheels. If they want to come there, they can come. If they are far, I'm on WhatsApp, number 0722-822-928. Facebook, Wajiru Kiama Official. YouTube, Wajiru Kiama Official. TikTok, Wajiru Kiama Official.
Yes, and they can also watch you on NURU TV.
NURU TV. On Saturdays.
Yes.
Like this Saturday, I'll be there.
At what time?
9:45 at night.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Esther Wanjiru Kiama, kwa kuweza kutenga muda wako na kuja mahali hapa ili kuhakikisha kwamba jamii ambazo ziko katika familia ambazo ziko katika jamii zetu ni familia ambazo kwa tena zinatupa uhuru wa kukua na kujiendeleza. Thank you very much. Na thank you very much my roommate kwa kuweza pia kutenga muda wako kuja mahali hapa. Tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba tunaelimishana, tuhamasishana, vile vile tunainuana kwa mapana na tena marefu. Naona siku zote nafahamika kama Ruth Ngatia.